Hello, Reef DVMs coming at you today, and in the last 6 months we've accumulated about 10 very common questions that we seem to get on our reef tank here and how we do things at Reef DVMs. So we thought we'd sit down and kind of give you a brief explanation on these 10 questions to maybe help explain things as to why we do what we do with our reef tank. By no means do you have to follow this, but it's just good knowledge to understand why somebody does what they do with their tank. And I thought I'd take kind of the top 10, so to speak, and try to answer them. So we'll take a stab at it here. We'll try to show them at the bottom of the screen here as we go. The first one is why do we use Tropic Eden's Reef Flakes? We did put out a video on this. I'll try to share the link up in the corner here. That is a very interesting issue when it comes to what you want to use for sand substrate, and we decided to test a bunch of sand substrates a few years back, and Eden's worked really well. It settled back down quick, there was no crap in the flakes, it was an arginate material which kept the pH down, so that's why we went with it. So this tank is got it in it right now, and you know, sure, it's like typical sand, it gets a tish dirty, but it settles down very quickly. We've got 6,500 tunsies in here blasting away, and as you can see, it isn't doing too much. It mounds a little bit, it moves here and there, but nothing real bad. So that's a very common question we get. Another one, as you can see, we get, which I kind of addressed, is why the Tunsie pumps? Why not the Ecotex? Why not some of these other brands? The answer is simple. The Ecotex at one point in time were on the outside of the tanks. This happens to be a family room tank, and they were very clicky on the outside of a tank, so we didn't like that. We also couldn't position the Ecotex to shoot where we wanted. The Tunsies have been rock solid German products. We bought ours through Bulk Reef Supply. Ryan there helped us out years ago, and they work really well with the Apex. Gosh, what more can we say? They've been rock solid. These I think the 6501s or something in here, or what's in here right now. This tank being close to a little over 5 feet long, and it handles moving that coral back and forth and making action and waves and storms just great. So very good question to ask, and hopefully we've got that answered. A lot of people asked why we went with the Reef Savvy tank, and certainly Felix is an excellent glass craftsman. So that was one reason, but the other reason is the Ghost. The Ghost is in here, handles a ton of water, and since we're taking the water from upstairs in this farmhouse down into the basement and then returning it, we wanted large volume and we didn't want to lose up a lot of tank space. And this is excellent. You lose very little. This happens to be like a second generation. I think they're actually on like the third or fourth generation now that they're selling, and they've improved it every time. But yes, we do use a Ghost. There is a video on it. I'll try and post the link maybe on this corner here for a few minutes, so if you want to see that, you certainly can click it. The next question we have is the AI Vegas. Why go with the AI Vegas? Well, at the time, they didn't have some of the other lights out there, but the one thing we liked about the AI Vegas is you could play with the pucks. You could actually individualize them, and you can even get UV in them, which is something that natural sunlight has that we wanted our coral to be exposed to. So you're right, we're using AI Vegas. And then some people have seen that we have a Kessel or two in the system. So then they ask, why put a Kessel with an AI Vega? And the answer is really quite simple. We've got some clams down here, and we've got some acros that we really wanted to get some intense light down to, and we weren't able to get that direct spotlight. The AIs are more of a diffuse. Now granted, they've come out with better products since then that can really penetrate deep. But we do have a Kessel or two sitting up here. You can look on other videos and probably see it, but there's a couple cannons up there, and then there's 3 banks of AIs. So that hopefully will help with that question. And I think we did put out a video on the Kessel. I'll have to see if I can find the link on that one. When we talk about products come up a lot in the questions and answers area of Reef DVMs, and people send us questions a lot. One of the questions we still get is, what bacteria do we fortify our system with? People say, hey, using an ultra low nutrient system, you got to put some type of bacteria in. The answer is simple. We use the Microbacter 7. We've done the analysis on it. I'll show another video up here in the link. It's been a great product, and we're going to stand behind it. The research is there that it's healthy, it's alive, it comes to us in a large enough bottle. So we've been real pleased with that product. So we're just going to continue to use it. As far as carbon dosing, because we're an ultra low nutrient system and we're adding bacteria in, which we do want to have healthy, we do carbon dose. Our favorite is Zeostart. So basically we're kind of a modified Zeovit system. We use their zeolites to help make it an ultra low nutrient system. We use the Microbacter 7 to put the bacteria in we wish to have in the system, and then we use Zeostart, which is carbon dosing, kind of like vodka or vinegar, and we put that product in. I don't always know whether that's truly a vinegar product. It smells like it. It's priority, so they don't priorities or whatever they say there. Sorry, mix up my words on occasion. But anyways, a trademark product that they're not going to tell you the ingredients of, but for the most part we like how it works. We dose that every single day, the Zeostart. So that is one product we're putting in daily. The Microbacter 7, I should jump back to that. We're not putting that in daily. We're putting that in only twice a week in a small quantity of it. So those are two of our kind of carbon dosing components there. Another question that we get quite often is balling. People are like, oh yeah, you do 2-part, you do 3-part, and we just actually did a video on that, and no we don't. For us, we actually do a true balling method. We use TM, Tropic Marin's product. It's ionically balanced. It's the closest thing that we've been able to put into water, do Triton testing on, and get as close to natural seawater as possible. And when we have this balling solution going in, and when we're using the Tropic Marin salt for our once-a-month water change, we find that we don't need to add a lot of strontium. We're not adding potassium to keep up with the zeolites sucking it out. We're not adding much iodine, if any at all, and we're really just not having to put all the tank supplements in. We do a little bit, and we certainly monitor it. We do monthly Triton testing. We use our HANA, our Red Sea, our Ellis testers quite often. But we have really good luck, and I say that as positively as I can, with the balling system. The 3 parts, one being calcium, one being alkalinity, and the third part being non-sodium, ionically balanced, natural seawater that's been dehydrated, so you're just getting the components of seawater back in without constantly adding the sodium and bringing up the salt level. We find it just does fantastic. You can see by the growth, this is a young system. This system is just literally about 1.5 years old. It's flourishing quite well. It's fairly low maintenance for an ultra low system, and we do really well with the balling salts. With that being said, people say, okay, so what are you adding to your tank? In a nutshell, what we're pretty much adding is Microbacter 7 twice a week. We're adding Zeostart daily to the tank. We feed the coral with Zeovit's Coral Vitalizer. We do that daily. We on occasion have used some sponge power by Zeovit to feed the sponges and the clam here behind me. And we probably do that once or twice a week. And then of course we feed Mysi shrimp. We use frozen block, and we thaw it to get the crap off it and just put the shrimp in, and we kind of flood feed, and we feed that about every other day. And we use a little bit of coral food from Bulk Reef Supply on occasion, just for keeping variety in the system. But really that's about what we're putting in. Our calcium, our alkalinity, and all our mineral products, if you want to think about them, which are in the form of trace elements, come in through ionically balanced balling salts. So another good question that we get a lot in regards to balling salts, yes, we do it, and we've had great success, and we base that upon our Triton testing and the natural seawater that we've seen analysis from and that we've collected to try to match it to it. So it works really well for us. In regards to that, people ask us, how does the Zeovit work with the balling salts and the ultra low nutrient system? And all I can say is it's been working fantastic for us. I know some people say that balling salts and Zeovit don't go together, and I have no proof of that. Our system works great, so hopefully that helps explain that. A lot of people ask if we use a carbon still, and the answer is yes. When you're doing an ultra low nutrient system, you're still going to build up toxins from the food, you're still going to build up toxins from fish waste, so we do use a carbon, and we tend to use a high-end carbon that's well proven. We use the ROX 0.8 from Bulk Reef Supply. It's been a fantastic carbon. We keep it down in our sump. This system being a couple 100 gallons, we're running about 2 liters of it, and we're changing it out once a month. In regards to that, the Zeovit that we're doing the ultra low nutrient system, we're only changing out about every 8 weeks. So those are the 2 products that are changing fairly often. As far as more often than that, we really don't have much. We do have Brightwell Aquatics GFO in the large granular size in the system, and we use some A99, which is by the Triton company. It's basically like a C-Cam or a Phosguard. It's an aluminum-based phosphate binder, and since we tend to feed heavy with flooding, we tend to get some phosphate levels that come up, and we reduce those obviously with that to try to keep our phosphate down to about 0.03. That's really our goal. This system, I checked it the other day, was running about 0.06, so I've probably got to change out some of my product. And in regards to that, the last question that I'm going to address today is in water changes. People say, well, if you do a true Triton method system, because you use Triton testing, you shouldn't be doing water changes. No, I use Triton test, but I don't really do the Triton method. And then they say, well, with the Zeovit system, are you doing water changes every week or every other week? I don't really find I need to. There isn't enough change to warrant the water changes. I truly only use water changes to remove a little bit of excess waste. And I'm not really using them for nutrient import because I'm using the balling salts. So about once a month works well, and I probably most often do it after I've come in here with a bulb syringe and blown off all the rock if there's any junk on it, and removed a little bit of hair algae and stirred up the sand to get the junk out of the sand bed. I find that my filters and my sump water gets a little dirty downstairs. I kick on the automatic water changer. We pump out about 20 gallons or so, and then we pump in some fresh Tropic Marin Pro Reef salt, and we're good to go again. So we're doing water changes only about once a month. These are some of the common questions that we're getting here at Reef DVMs on our online site. You know, if you want to check it out, please do. Excuse me. We're also on Facebook, and certainly we've been getting these same questions on Facebook too, and we certainly don't mind answering them. But I thought maybe putting out this video might help you understand why we do what we do. Things like our Microbacter, our balling salts, our Tropic Marin salt, which we've all tested, all 3 of these products, have no crap in them, and that's why we like it, folks. We use high-end products like ROX Carbon for Bulk Reef Supply, and I'm not just plugging in, but it's a good site. You can go get some fairly inexpensive bulk products cheap, and that's one of them that's just really fantastic. You get some great coral food from him. I like the coral chili that he sells, and you can buy your testing supplies too. And I find that working with companies like, you know, Brightwell Aquatics and Bulk Reef Supply and Zeovit over there in Germany, and Toonsy and Felix down at Reef Savvy, and you know, even Synergy Reef, which has helped us with all the sump products. These are good companies, they make good products, and I just want you people to know about it, because when you ask me what do we like to use, we're going to tell you. And a lot of our products are a little on the higher end, but they're good products and they work well. I appreciate you watching this video. Please like or subscribe to our channel. We'll keep putting out great videos like this. Check us out on our website page, or hey, check us out on Facebook. And if you got questions, feel free to ask, but hopefully this video helps you out with some of the more common ones. Thank you, folks.